Alright guys, strap yourselves in because the biggest Total War campaign map in the history of the franchise is getting a massive update. RTR Imperium Surrectum started off as a mod that humbly aimed to improve Rome Total War Remastered in every way possible, with more cultures, more factions, more regions, you name it, all with a level of replayability that in my opinion has never truly been achieved before in a historical game. And now, with Update 0.6, we finally have a finished campaign map with over 1,800 regions. The Hellenic World with Greece, Western Anatolia, Thrace, these are all teeming with unique playable and AI factions that are all meticulously researched to be as historically accurate as possible, and work has even begun on filling the rest of the map as well, with factions dotted around Iberia, Gaul, Germania, and even as far east as the Mauryan Empire. This is simply an incredible piece of work that I've really been enjoying these last couple of weeks, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why it's so impressive and why you need to check it out. So diving straight in, we have over 50 new factions. That's right, 50 new factions. And as I said, the Greek world is basically complete. If you choose to play in this area, you'll be participating in a hot mess of regional wars, alliances, intrigue between big powers like Macedon with its dominating position in the north, their allies the Seleucids in Anatolia, as well as the Egyptian Ptolemies, who have a much larger chunk of land now than before. But you've also got these dozens of smaller factions here that have brilliant, unique, and powerful rosters, economic starts and alliances from Epirus to Sparta to Athens to Pergamon to dynamic emergent factions like the Thessalian League or Silesian Pirates. Everything and anything can happen here, and that is just such a unique experience unlike any other in Total War you've seen. But what's even more amazing about this is the scale, the vastness of the world. While you're here in Greece as one of these factions waging total war, there's the mighty Egyptians and Seleucids with their vast territory squaring off on the brink of war. There's the huge filled out territories around Italy and North Africa as Rome, Carthage, and dozens of factions caught in between fight for dominance. And there's the rest of the world. There's Iberia with its Greek colonies, Gaul with powerful local tribes, and the elusive Britannia and Germania where who knows what stirs in the darkness. It's this unknown over what's happening in the rest of this 1800 region campaign map of ancient Earth that gives this such a special and unique vibe. All of this also makes the AI behavior more dynamic and empire building a proper engaging challenge. As Macedon, for example, I had already begun my campaign with a large area of Greece with high income, decent units, and very interesting, powerful characters, but I had a war waging with Epirus, who didn't start with one settlement, but 8 settlements, so it really felt like I was at war with a proper kingdom. I had to strategize how to intercept their large and powerful army. I had to pick and choose which towns to attack to bait them out, and once I finally conquered their capital, 15 turns later, I felt this wave of satisfaction. But it wasn't easy. I had to do all of this while juggling economy management across my kingdom, plus an invasion by roads in my one settlement in Anatolia, plus an aggressive Sparta and Athens down south. All of this took my campaign to a whole new level of total war that I welcomed with open arms and thoroughly enjoyed. And as I experienced all of this, I got a deeper look into the revamped economy system in this update as well, which is now closer to vanilla while still retaining its challenge. Farms are quite important, as they always will be, but so is strategizing now which cities to grow. With a massive variety in regional fertility levels, local farming potential, you have to pick and choose which of your settlements will be developed for your economy, and depending on their strategic location, which will be developed for military recruitment or trade. The building tree changes all costs with things like unit upkeep, tax bonuses, as well as other mechanics like squalor, public order, and the various sources of income all have been rebalanced to reflect this more streamlined but intuitive economy system as well, and it makes developing your kingdom just as strategic as expanding it. One of my favorite aspects of this update, though, is the brilliantly done traits and ancillary system for characters. Taking my faction leader Antigonus as an example, he gets unique traits for being Macedonian, he gets unique traits for being a part of the Antigonus dynasty, he's the Basilius of Macedon, so the populace respect and admire him, but he's also wealthy, and that makes others jealous. He's a capable bureaucrat, but he's also battle-hardened, he's a social drinker and faithful, and everything in between. You can really see how fleshed out and descriptive your characters can get, and that just adds so much color and depth to your playthrough. Characters get traits for participating in Olympic Games, traits for conquering special cities like Athens or being a governor, and I'm still finding new traits every time I play, which is just so cool and so fun. Over on the military side of things, there's a new recruitment system that is heavily based on area of recruitment. So the first 3 tiers are all AOR, but they all represent from tier 1 to tier 3 different stages of professionalism. Local regional units that go from early levels to light to medium to heavy, and then you have your 4th tier, and that is your faction units, your most professional heavy units. The Antigonids, for example, also get 2 types of reforms, each with their own requirements and unlocked units, and all factions just like them have these types of recruitment systems now. Coupled with a challenging new supply system which makes large armies more difficult to financially maintain, as well as new spoils of war mechanics for victorious battles, and epidemics that now affect your troops, there's plenty here that makes military strategy even more meaningful and challenging than before. Rampaging through Epirus's territory, I fought some hard-won battles, but I often had to reinforce my army with newly supplied troops, all the while prioritizing keeping my well-conditioned general alive, and especially with 4 turns per year and 2 turns minimum to recruit, I had to truly consider many different factors to shape my overall strategy to take Epirus down and win this war. And best of all, guys, not only did the AI proactively try to engage me with their large and intimidating army, they sued for peace to become my protectorate, which was a very interesting thing to see. Same thing happened with Sparta as well. So in the campaign, it seems like there's more aggression from the AI that is meaningful, but it also knows when to admit defeat, which is a balanced display of behavior you don't often see in Total War. Now, as with every mod, of course, nothing is totally perfect. You're going to have some bugs and issues here and there, but I personally only had one major issue. Campaign FPS was on the low and choppy side, and the end turn times were quite long, and this could have something to do with my less than ideal laptop, just as a disclaimer, but there's a possibility it could be the large number of regions and factions as well. I need to look into this a bit more, but I just think it's worth mentioning here as it can be quite jarring. Battles, on the other hand, don't have this problem at all. Everything is smooth as silk as you war your way through maps with beautiful, stunning visuals, upscaled textures on trees, terrain, and of course take a closer look at some of the most beautiful units you've seen in Total War. RTR Imperium Surrectum, when it first started, had these ported over units that had old textures, but now, if you play a Greek faction especially, you will have the pleasure of commanding a fully revamped, retextured, and super fun army roster that looks light years ahead of those low poly ports, even better than some later Total War games. Altogether, there are roughly 150 to 200 new units for these factions, ranging from the Tarentine cavalry to Therophoroi spearmen to Spartan hoplites to the huge variety of AOR units. There's a ton of meaningful diversity here that translates to the battles as well. Greek hoplites holding that front line, spearmen and other melee infantry that can cover their flanks, javelin men, and really great ranged units like archers and slingers that pack a punch that have balanced range while being super vulnerable to cavalry, and of course cavalry, which was a recent development in ancient warfare and can be used to devastating effect on the battlefield. Now, I have to say it, of course, yes, this is Rome Remastered, which means pathfinding is an issue, battle AI behavior is an issue, but these are things that modders, unfortunately, can't do anything about. Feral Interactive didn't do enough here to improve them, and the best thing we can do is accept them for what they are, features rather than bugs. Turning the cheek on these age-old issues for an older game is far easier to do and the right thing to do to truly appreciate all of this amazing work. And everything in this update is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come, guys. I won't dive too much into the future of the mod, but the modders have told me now that the Hellenic World is finally finished and the team can begin focusing their attention on places further north in Illyria. They can start fleshing out Italy, especially with Rome, and North Africa with Carthage and Numidia. And soon after, we'll be getting a revamped Iberia and Gaul, with plenty of brilliant research going into all of these regions to fill them out with factions and make sure not a single region is left untouched and not a single faction is left as a rebel. Of course, while there's still so much more to come, Update 0.6 right now shows us what Rome Remastered is capable of. Years ago, I said this was going to be the start of something seriously unique and amazing, and it's finally getting there. Thousands of hours of research by historians like Joroloff to place the over 1,800 regions in the campaign, so much effort gone into fully fleshing out Hellas, Anatolia, and Thrace with dozens of kingdoms, cultures, hundreds of units, deep, meaningful mechanics, and just so much love to create the ultimate classical Total War experience. And that's it for today, guys. This has been a preview of the incoming update 0.6 for RTR Imperium Surrectum that, all being well, will be released this Friday. It vastly improves the game and the mod in a multitude of ways, and honestly, I can't recommend it enough if you have the game. And I suggest you seriously consider buying Rome Remastered when it's on a big sale, because I think with this mod, it's completely worth it. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Subscribe for more Total War content just like this, especially if you want to see more RTR Imperium Surrectum videos. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.